Ciao a tutti ragazzi e ragazze, benvenuti in un nuovo video reaction. Abbiamo reagito al K, abbiamo reagito a Umibot, abbiamo reagito a un'opera boh, abbiamo reagito pure a Kuchisake Onna. Oggi invece tocca a Gumiho. E chi cavolo è? Il Gumiho è una creatura mitologica del folklore coreano ed è descritta come una volpe mostruosa a 9 code. E mo voi già direte, mi sono un po' familiare, mi ricorda un po' la Kitsune. Sì ragazzi, la Gumiho è davvero simile alla Kitsune. Però ragazzi, secondo la leggenda giapponese, la Kitsune avrebbe dovuto combinare cose orribili, ma non solo in Giappone, ma anche in Cina, India e addirittura in Corea. Quindi potremmo dire che Gumiho è praticamente la stessa creatura mitica, solamente con un nome diverso. Ecco, raga, vedete, io sto facendo reaction agli yokai e penso che Gumiho sia uno yokai, perché penso che dovrebbe essere Kitsune, però in versione coreana. Cioè, in Giappone chiamano Kitsu, però forse in Corea la chiamano Gumiho, come in Cina, per esempio, la chiamano Huli Jing. In India, oddio, non ho trovato il Kitsu in India, forse non esiste. Vabbè, comunque io penso che Gumiho sia uno yokai, anche perché ha anche la mitologia coreana abbastanza carina. Quindi dai, reagiamo anche a questo video. Io penso che Gumiho è uno yokai, anche perché a me piacciono gli yokai. Quindi io dico che Gumiho è uno yokai. Insomma, penso che sia la Kitsune, però con nome Gumiho in coreano. Vabbè, lasciamo like sempre di Draw the Life Tic Tac. Dai, ora vediamoci il video.
Tic-tackers, welcome to another scary Tuesday. Today we travel to South Korea. There lived a very poor young peasant accompanied by his elderly mother.
No.
They had a hut in a remote area of the forest, and although they were very good people, they barely had enough to eat. One midsummer day, with the sun shining brightly, his mother told him that she was looking forward to eating cold noodles in soya or chada. For this dish, he needed ice, so although it was difficult to find it, the young man went in search of it.
Il ghiaccio perché serve?
To do so, he had to cross the town, with such bad luck that on the way, he came across a group of heartless young men. They told him that the only place where he could find ice was in a hidden valley inhabited by ghosts and spirits. The young man, eager to fulfill his mother's whims, set out to go. When he arrived, it was already dark. He could only see what the moon allowed him to see. And suddenly, he came upon a scene he wished he had never seen. A nine-tailed vixen was staring at a man's liver. He was alive and trying to defend himself, but the animal's teeth clamped down hard.
E quindi la Gumiho mangia le persone, quindi mangia i loro organi. Mamma mia, certo che è veramente raccapricciante.
The young man could not help but let out a scream of terror, which startled the fox, who quickly ran to meet him.
Sta lontana, brutta volpe.
He, very frightened, knelt down and begged her to let him live. He explained that he had gone there for the sole purpose of finding eyes for his own mother.
Ma anche se tu dici che ti serve il ghiaccio, non ti capirà, devi scappare via. Va bene che ti incoraggerò, provaci a scappare. Dopo se muori è ovvio. Vabbè, lasciamo stare.
The animal, who made him promise that he could not tell anyone about what he had seen and would let him go.
Ah, e così la Gumiho ha detto che lo lascia in pace solamente se lo dice che non l'ha mai incontrata. Questo mi ricorda un po' la storia della Yuki-onna, che ci hanno fatto pure il Drama Life anche su Yuki-onna, che ci farò anche quello, il reaction.
The young man accepted the deal and was able to get home safe and sound. After a few months, he managed to find love in a young woman he met in the forest. She stayed with him and his mother, and together they had 2 daughters. But they were so poor that the girls barely had enough to eat. After the birth of the second one, the woman began to behave
Fammi indovinare, la donna che ha sposato è Gumiho.
strangely. Every night, she would disappear until the early hours of the morning and come back with pearls of great value. With the proceeds from selling them in the market, the family left hunger behind and welcomed comfort. The man was intrigued by the origin of the pearls, but he decided not to ask questions and even encouraged his wife to go out to look for them. But one day, she came home with a major wound. It was from an arrow, and it almost cost her her life.
Aspetta.
He, in desperation, tried to distract her by telling her the story of
No!
the nine-tailed fox.
Non li raccontà.
But before he could finish speaking, she let out a terrible scream and transformed into a fox.
Lo sapevo che sta donna era Gumiho. Ragazzi, questa storia è molto simile alla storia della Yuki-onna. Raga, mi ricorda tanto la storia della Yuki-onna.
Weak voice, she managed to say to him, 10 years ago, tomorrow, we met. If he had kept the secret until then, I would have become a woman forever. But there is no turning back now. At that moment, she grabbed her 2 little girls and left for good. Today, we want to tell you about the Korean legend of the Gumiho. Its literal translation is nine-tailed fox, and this already gives us a lot of information.
Quindi Gumiho in coreano vuol dire volpe a 9 code.
About what we're going to talk about. Nine-tailed foxes are common in folklore originating in Korea, China, and Japan.
Vedete a quanto ho visto che le volpi a 9 code stanno praticamente in questi 3 paesi, Giappone, Cina e Corea. Quindi sì, ragazzi, la kitsune e Gumiho sono la stessa creatura, e anche i Kulijing in Cina.
Fox that by living for more than 100 years can become a spirit and change shape. The most common is that of a beautiful young woman who seduces men and eats their souls.
Mangia le anime.
This literally, because this young woman is often represented in the body of a fox devouring the liver or the heart of a man. There are different versions of that legend, but all agree that if the Gumiho nature of the fox is discovered by humans, it means the end of their lives. Sometimes they can make deals, and if the human who discovered the Gumiho keeps the secret for a specific time, he can keep the human form. This is what he desires most, to become
È praticamente simile alla Yuki-onna, ho già capito.
a person. Over time, their representation in the world of culture has grown. We have been able to find nine-tailed foxes in K-dramas such as My Girlfriend is a Gumiho, Grudge the Revolt of Gumiho, and Gu Family Book. In a multitude of books, and even in video games such as League of Legends, with the character of Ari, inspired by this figure.
Così in League of Legends c'è un personaggio simile a questo a Gumiho. Voglio cercare un attimo. Vediamo un po'. Ecco qua. Com'è che si chiama? Vediamo un po'. L'ho visto questo personaggio una volta. Vabbè, continuiamo.
Have you ever heard of them, tic-tackers?
Sì.
We have been frozen with the image of a young girl devouring a human liver.
Si sono spaventati di vedere una bambina che mangia un essere umano. No. Che schifo. Vabbè, bel video come al solito. Vabbè, ecco la mia reaction dello YōKai coreano Gumiho. Spero che vi sia piaciuta la reaction, iscrivetevi al canale. Ciao!